the music!
My spiritual people. Oh, you're in for a treat. Welcome to the Lamarr and Tracey show. The only psychic tarot readers you need to know. You can trust our word because we've got your back. And our personal readings don't cost you a stack. Tracey is the one with the fiery flair, and Lamarr is the one with the gunned up hair. Trolls are jealous because we predicted it. Are you ready for the show? Cause it's time to get lit. Hi Tracey.
Hi, Lamarr.
How are you?
Very well, thank you. How are you?
I'm good. Hello, Geminis. This is for Gemini. What's coming up for Gemini November 2023? Make sure you all like the video, subscribe, contact us for a reading to elaborate. Join our nightly live show. We do it every night. You can also get a live reading. So join us.
Yes, please join us. Please, God, talk to me about Gemini. Please allow me to see anything and everything that you would like for me to see. Geminis are your children, they're your loves, they're your beloveds. Please authorize me to see and say what you would like for me to say and see. I love you, God. I love you, Jesus. In your name I pray. Amen, amen, amen. Okay.
I see values and morals being a theme for Gemini in the month of November. Your values and morals come into play this month. I get the Tower card connected to your opinions, your beliefs, optimism, stepping outside your comfort zone. So there could be some heavy changes as well.
Heavy changes.
Yeah, that could also like affect your confidence too, I feel. Like you could be in your head. It's almost like, can I do this? Should I do this? The last card I get is a Five of Wands, which represents conflict in some way, shape, or form. But this could be internal conflict in some way. I get the Two of Cups connected to friendship. So maybe this could be a heart-to-heart, come to Jesus moment between you and someone else. And I get the Temperance card connected to one-on-one relationships. So, and then facing that is the Ace of Wands. I feel like there's a decision on the table for you, Gemini. You're going back and forth as to whether or not you should make the decision or what decision should you make. I feel like you kind of know what decision you need to make, but it's like you don't want to make it or you don't want to deal with it is what I get. What do you see, Tracey? Oh, is she stuck? I think she might be stuck, maybe. All right. Well, while we wait for Tracey to come back, I get the Hanged Man connected to your emotions, connected to family, and the home matters. So the Hanged Man is once again about like patience, delays. It's you sitting on. It could be you sitting on a secret. It could be you sitting on a decision. It's like something either does or doesn't feel right with you, or something is like going on where you're questioning either yourself, your moral values, someone else's moral values, and it's kind of like I almost feel like someone's putting you like in a hard place or in a tough position in some way. Like, what would be a good example of this spirit? It's kind of like maybe your boss. Maybe I don't know why this is like the example that's coming to me, but maybe imagine your boss like um has something that happens in their life, maybe something happens to a family member, and they come to you and they're like, I need you to take over, but you're not prepared to take over. But you're kind of forced into the position, and it's like, am I going to mess up? Like, like I'm not sure if that's the situation. Welcome back, Tracey. But there's something like that where it's like you're kind of like a rock stuck in a hard place. What do you see?
I believe there's something it needs to be walked away from. I think they're actualizing these feelings
Mm-hmm.
right now. I think something's failing.
Mm-hmm.
I think something has to change. Some structural bullshit has to change structurally. But because Gemini's are heartfelt people, it's hard for them to change. They're almost a fixed sign, but they're not.
Yeah,
All right. But something's better on the horizon,
definitely.
much better on the horizon. I'm also getting this as a pregnancy card, uh, fostering, adoption, and something about a little girl. All
Mm.
right. But this could also mean the need for change because you're done with something, someone, some place, some
Yeah,
persons. Something has structurally changed and you don't fear it anymore. Because then the world card says you're free to go now. What was a clutch for you is no longer a clutch. You're free to go. You're free to invest. Like this is the end for new beginnings. But it's almost like you have to say goodbye to your old self. And that's what the death card. So I get two cards that mean say goodbye to yourself. This one brings forth the new person. This
mm-hmm.
one is look back on your life. You had a good life. Say goodbye. Right? It's almost like having a bad childhood and then finally reconciling the bad childhood with your future self. You no
Yeah,
longer want to invest in a bad childhood. You no longer want to make that as your rhetoric. I had a bad childhood. Does anybody listen to me? And it's kind of like, I realized my bad childhood really did make me who I am. And I never thought that I would get there, but you got there.
mm-hmm.
And so any changes after that has to be better because you want to take off that old skin that represented your bad childhood. And if it's not about bad childhood, you want to take off that old skin that you've been living in maybe for the last 13 years or 21 years,
Mm.
right? And
Yeah,
maybe the last 3 years is where the change has been occurring. But, Geminis fight. They fight the system. And so if the system is saying time to change 3 years ago, they're like, yeah, I got you. But then they don't change. And then it comes up. So I feel like maybe the last 3 years, Geminis have gotten like a lot of hard knocks on their head.
yeah.
And I think they're just getting it. They're like, I'm done. I'm done with my old self.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I've been through that. So I know what this is for Geminis. And Geminis need to understand they pair up with Aquarians. When Aquarians are done with this world, Geminis take over.
Mm.
And yes, the next 200 years is going to be air, right?
Yeah.
So that means Geminis has got to get on board with Aquarians and
Mm-hmm.
Aquarians' morals and Aquarians, you know, need
Values.
to need to fulfill the nation, feed the people.
Yep,
So Geminis
humanitarian.
can't think about themselves anymore.
Mm-hmm.
It's bigger than you yourself.
And the thing with Geminis is that they're very adaptable, so they just need time to adapt to a new situation.
Yes. And
But give
they
yourself
are
that
very
time.
adaptable, but I kind of see them as a little fixed.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. That's why I said give yourself that time to adapt. Like,
Yes. Yes. But they're
Do you
at
think
the
this
point
also
of this portal. They can't go back.
exactly? Do you think this involves relationships too? Because these two cards fall out just like this, but this card shows up in the position of one-on-one relationships. This is amongst a group of people.
And I felt this was relationships.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. The core values of, you know, who you're dealing with. Like, are you like, okay, yes. The thing that's interesting about Geminis is that they are giving people and they want to be seen as giving. And that's what's on their mind right now. How can I be seen as I feel? And there's a little bit of confusion with that, right? And how can I be seen as I feel has to do with others.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're giving and you're around people that don't really value the new you, then are you giving, right? Then we get confused. So sometimes we have to give in a way where we're giving back to the next generation. And that's why I got pregnancy, fostering, adoption. There's just something there where you're giving. If an adult human can't hear you, then something younger can hear you.
Mm-hmm. Makes sense.
Hmm. And don't worry about money, Gemini. I don't think money is going to be available to you. I don't think the making of the money could is your clutch right now. Like, don't worry about money. Money's going to evade you, which is going to kill a Gemini. They don't believe in that, but
But
it's
it's not
part of
their
your
focus right now.
it's part of your spiritual growth.
Mm-hmm.
So you're absolutely right. You can't buy the fabulous outfit. You can't buy the fabulous shoes. You can't buy the fabulous purse. You can't look good in that way where $300-400 makes you believe that you look good. But it's temporary, Gemini. So nobody panic. It's just a moment in time to get your focus working differently so that God can get in. God just wants to get in. So if your focus is on money, God's going to take money away. Kanye, there's going to be a problem with money again. I don't know. I feel like they have to say goodbye to money. It's weird.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But
I get
money,
the four of wands connected to money.
oh, that's nice though. What does that
Yeah.
mean to you?
Um Unexpected changes connected to money that they have to adapt to.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. And I just think if your focus changes on money, um, you're going to be drawn to something new. This could be a
I
romantic relationship or a situation that's much more loving for you.
I think it could be also a matter of keeping up with the Joneses, maybe, like in
Mm,
relationships, in relation to other people, but it's like that's not a healthy relation to other people. A healthy relation to other people is a loving relationship, is meeting the one, is, spending time on that. That's real wealth. So I think
yes,
that's, yeah.
yes, yes. It's the value of wealth. That's the
Hmm.
good point. Where does the value of wealth mean to you? So, with that being said, I'm warning you, Geminis. I'm really surprised by this. I get the Three of Wands, I get travel, and I get the Six of Swords. So, something about being in a different land is going to show you what you're doing, what you're missing out on, and your aha moment is going to be so real. but you might have to travel to get there, to get that moment, to come back, to recognize you're just not the same anymore. Again, you may know this, you may be in it. There's just something more concrete that's coming on.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll give you a good example. It's like when I didn't want to admit I was a psychic. And then once I stood in the label of it all, my life changed. But I was fighting for years the word psychic. When I just gave up the ghost, it's so
And
much fun
accepted
to
who
be a
you are.
psychic. And accepted who
Mm-hmm.
I was. It was just like, I'm a psychic. Fuck y'all. And it's not even fuck y'all anymore. It's just like, I'm a psychic. So, okay.
It just is what it is.
It is what it is. I think
Yep.
Geminis are going through, what is it? You know, but did you step in? You did step in, but are you sitting in it? You're sitting in it, but are you speaking it to everyone? Like, did it become you?
No. This got deep.
It's deep.
Yeah. Did you see Kiana?
That's funny. Oh my god. All right, final outcome.
Final outcome. Interesting. I got the 5 of action. It says, your angels want you to know that your current challenge pushes you to be assertive and self-confident. Be willing to stand up for yourself and defend your position. You have the right to excuse yourself from those who bring drama into your life. So I think you're outgrowing things, you're outgrowing people, and that's okay.
Yeah, that's probably what it is. And I got
Mhm.
a very ironic one. It says, all that glitter
Mm,
is not gold.
so true.
Hmm. And that brings me back to purses, clothing, shoes,
Jewelry,
right?
yeah.
Jewelry, designer, this, that, and the third. Because you Geminis, y'all suffer from fashion. All right, number 16, which is one of my favorite numbers because it adds up to 7. All that glitters. A need to see beyond the superficial, the desire to don a mask or a dress, dressing up to disguise a true nature, trying to be something you're not, chasing after every sparkly new thing, being mercurial, which is
Hmm.
Gemini, true and true. It's only human to want to adorn yourself in trinkets, paint a pretty picture of yourself. It's natural to want to acquire the trappings of status or to deny them as a statement of rebellion. But if it sparkles, is it better? Could be a fast car, big house, a title, position, stamp of authority, or the sparkling of a diamond. These icons let you know something about a person, place, or thing, or do they? The truth is that people seek to acquire things because of what they will do for them and how they symbolically will elevate them and make them more attractive to others. This card signals that it's time to see beyond the adornments and probe underneath the surface. Learn to recognize the mask people wear and the motives underlying them. Imagine that all that glitter is gone. Would you still desire the object or the person?
Child. All that glitters is not gold, Gemini. And sometimes
Now,
we, like the card said, we can be fascinated by all that glitter and shine. What were you
yes,
gonna say?
I was gonna say I don't know where it's at right now. Oh, I don't know where it's at. I don't know what I did with it. Um, I had a copper spear, right?
Hmm.
That in one of my magical components, I charred the copper spear to the point where it's unrecognizable, but I didn't throw
Copper,
it out.
a conduit for energy.
Right, but I charred it to total blackness.
I didn't even know you could do that with copper.
Well, apparently you can with certain magic. So I charred it, charred it, but I kept it. Why? Because it's still copper.
Mm.
You don't throw out copper because it's charred. So I was hoping to find it for you, but I don't know what I did with it now. I gotta look for it. And that's what this card reminds me of. Something that's charred looks unattractive. Like, is it still not copper?
Hmm. This is still not beautiful
Yeah.
and effective. Yeah.
And valuable. Yes. Yes.
All
Whew.
right.
All right, Gemini.
We hope you were able to help. And if you would like to elaborate, text us for a reading.
Yes, please.
Um, yeah, and also join us for the live stream, the live video afterwards, our nightly show.
Tonight. Tonight. Tonight
Hmm.
we're coming on at 5 o'clock, but normally we come on at 10 or 9 or
Yeah,
8. But today, Tuesdays will be our early days because we're trying to capture a different audience.
yeah. So make
All
sure you like,
right.
share, subscribe, and we'll see you all later next month for December.
Bye. Bye,
Bye, y'all.
Gemini. Cue the music.
My spiritual people. Oh, you're in for a treat. Welcome to the Lamarr and Tracey show. The only psychic tarot readers you need to know. You can trust our word because we've got your back. And our personal readings don't cost you a stack. Tracey is the one with the fiery flare, and Lamarr is the one with the gunned up hair. Trolls are jealous because we predicted it. Are you ready for the show? Cause it's time to get lit.